The Blackmagic Design press conference has just finished. This is an edited down version of that. So the goal of this video is to save you the time of watching an hour and 10 minutes of press conference. I'm going to bring you the whole thing in hopefully a shorter time. I like to waffle, it may go on for longer. Grant announced a couple of different new products during the press conference. One of them was the Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro. If you want to know about that, go on the video that'll be somewhere here. In this particular video, we are going to look at the new colour control surfaces, and I'll really touch on one of them. The other one you can figure out yourself. Let's rewind. Let's tell the story. Grant did. He takes longer, but I'll just give you a brief overview. A while ago, a few years ago in fact, Blackmagic Design acquired DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve at that stage was available as hardware. It was a big colour control surface desk. It was a really good colour control surface desk. It still is, but now it's mainly used in the Edit Suite. And if you want to know more of the backstory of that, just go off and watch the whole hour and 10 minutes. Essentially, they acquired it, turned Resolve from a colour corrector into an Edit Suite, retaining all the colour correcting stuff. What Blackmagic Design decided is that colour correcting with a keyboard and mouse is no good. It's rubbish. You don't want to do that. That's what I do. They've bought out some control surfaces. Control surfaces are crazy expensive. If you haven't seen one before, they generally look something like this. And they've got 3 wheels, or 3 balls, and some wheels on the outside of them. Gain, gamma, and lift controls. And that's generally your primary colour corrector. There's some buttons around for your secondaries and various other things. Blackmagic have brought theirs to the market. They've released 2 different models. The DaVinci Resolve Micro Panel, and the DaVinci Resolve Mini Panel. Now I'm going to talk about the Micro Panel mainly because if you don't stick along with all of the Micro Panel, then the Mini Panel's just a bit more complex. And as Grant alludes to himself, do have a look through the website and go through all the details of it yourself. In short, the Micro Panel is a USB-C/3 powered colour control surface. It's about yay big and looks gorgeous. This thing is available now, as in today, as in go out and buy one if you want to. This isn't paid endorsement, do what you like. Use keyboard and mouse. So, what does it do? Well, it works seamlessly with Resolve, and there's a new version of Resolve out today, 12.5.5. He didn't list any of the new features it had, aside from drivers for the control surfaces, so I haven't looked at that yet. Head over to the website and check it out. There may be other new features. What does it have and what's it for? It's for colour correction. One of the things that we see all the time, it took off with the DSLR thing really, is just secondary colour correction everywhere. Looks, real power grading, people going way over the top. The art of primary colour correction seems to have all but gone at the low level. It shouldn't have. If you're not primary colour correct, oh, I'll be quiet, this isn't graded. The control surfaces have 3 colour wheels, lift, gamma and gain, highlights, midtones and shadows. It carries many of the features of the DaVinci Advanced Control Panel, the one we saw earlier, which was enormous, but in a much, much smaller layout. Of course, I haven't played with it yet, but from the way he described it and what he would, it just looks really good. It looks like a nice quality bit of kit. It's made of metal, it's not plastic. All of the keys are backlit. That's a big deal if you're colour grading, particularly if you were using this kind of a keyboard. If you haven't graded stuff before, this is a great time to start picking it up. Go through YouTube, have a look at your colour theory, check out why we do primary colour corrections, and then go nuts with the secondaries if you want to. But the art of colour correction, it's nice to see it back, and nice to see Blackmagic paying so much attention to it. What else does it do? Let me have a look at my notes. There are reset buttons on it. You press any of the lift, gamma, gain wheels down, or any of the rings around the outside, yeah, the gain rings, then it will reset that particular parameter. So you can really mess around without bullsing the whole thing up. That's kind of cool. There is a viewer button. Now, this was my favourite feature.
Here's the viewer button. Now, if you go to the UI shot, you can see what happens when I push it. Now, if I push the viewer button, you can see it changes the UI and flips it over to a full screen.
We can use this during an edit. So if you're like me for offline things and you're editing and then you're going to make some primary corrections as you're going along, you've got your scopes open, just check out, just make sure it's all there or thereabouts. You can easily do that now with the control panel. You hit the viewer button, make your changes, hit the viewer button, you're back. Straight back on with the edit. That's really neat. I didn't make that many more notes about it. The Blackmagic designed DaVinci Resolve micro panel, now there's a mouthful, is available now at $995. No idea in pounds what it is. Then they do the mini panel, which is a more elaborate version, halfway between the micro and the advanced panel. This kind of looks like a similar housing to the ATEM ME1 control panel. Maybe it is, who knows. It can be rack mounted, this, that and the other, and all of the standard things you would want to do with a slightly more professional piece of hardware. Slightly different, it's not USB powered, but it does have a USB on it. It can be powered by Ethernet, it can be powered by AC. What else does it do? It's got some screens on it. You know what, I'm not going to go into that one much more. It does what the micro does and a load more features. If you are that person, then this video probably isn't for you anyway, but maybe it is. I've told you that it's there. You can head over to Blackmagic Design's website and check that out. I do realise that I've covered a lot of Blackmagic stuff recently. I'm not paid, supported, or even liked by them, I guess. Well, thanks for sticking around. It's quite late here. I'm going to get this cut up and go to bed. Share, like, all of those things. Good to have you around.